Hey guys, this is Courtney from Willow's Bloom, and today we are doing a pick a card for the special event that's happening on February 16th, which is Venus and Mars conjunct in the sky. And this is the masculine and feminine planets in astrology coming together. And it's such a beautiful time for love and romance. And so I wanted to do a pick a card reading specifically dedicated to your next or your current relationship and the energies that you'll find there, the blessings or the gifts that you will get from that dynamic. And I have 4 piles here, which is broken down into these beautiful angel messages card. This one is 43 Ascension, and this is pile 1. Pile 2 is 40 Strength. Pile 3 is 31, Receptivity. Pile 4 is 25, the Eternal Light of Love. So you will find the time codes in the description box below, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, my beautiful pile 1. So this is for those of you who chose the card Ascension. So I love this. I definitely feel like this is either communicating about the fact that your next or current relationship is going to help you ascend, help you evolve into the next version of yourself, or this could be an indicator that you are going to meet this partner on your path to ascension. So you might have some kind of spiritual awakening or realization or shift in your life that brings you up to a higher vibration, and that ultimately is going to attract a lighter partner as well. So we'll see more of how that unfolds in a second, but we're going to start off by jumping into the characteristics of one person and then the characteristics of another person. Then we'll look at just generally the blessings or the gifts that you will get from this partnership. So the first person we have is the Turtle. And they have the Strength card and the Moon card as an attribute. I'm going to look at the second person already. So the second person is the Black Egg. And they have the Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. These cards are really big, a little bit hard to fit on the screen. Okay. So let's start off with the Turtle person. First of all, I want to definitely say that I feel like this person has maybe gone through a lot with the Moon and the Strength card. I think that they have done a lot of work on themselves, and that's probably why the Ascension card is here, because when I think of a turtle, I think of someone who has really taken the time to develop the home within themselves. Like the turtle feels very comfortable and very safe in its shell. And I think that whoever this is has done a tremendous amount of work with the Strength and the Moon card to get to know themselves, to understand what makes them feel at home in a relationship or in their own body or in their career. And they have done a lot to make choices to align with that. And I think that they have had a lot of things come at them in life. They've developed this hard shell as a protective mechanism. And I think that they come across as really, really strong to other people. And it's because they are really strong. They have this level of sturdiness to them. They can take a certain amount of impact and still be okay. And they still have developed a lot of self-compassion through this process of self-discovery and of kind of hardening a little bit to the world. Underneath the turtle, he has a really soft body. So maybe you were born into this life coming out quite soft and open and malleable, and realize with time, whoever this is, that maybe life actually isn't as safe as you thought it would be. And you had to develop a thicker skin, a tougher shell, or keep people a little bit at a distance in order to protect yourself after being hurt time and time again. The Strength card, though, shows a large degree of resilience. And I think that this is somebody who has slowly but surely made their way through life and has found whatever success they found through hard work, hard effort, and taking everything one step at a time. It has this very Taurus energy to it. Strength, I think, is also, is it Leo or is that, I think the sun is Leo. I guess the lion on the strength card reminds me of Leo. So some of you guys might have some kind of Leo in your chart. But yeah, I think that this person, even though they have kind of developed a little bit of a shell, they are, again, really soft. They have this moon card describing their nature. So they're extremely intuitive. I think that they are somebody that can pick up on the needs, the thoughts, the emotions of those around them. They might have a little bit of that like psychic kind of antenna. And that also means that they have to kind of take some time away. Like with this turtle, they have to go in their shell, have some time, have some space, because ultimately they get a little bit drained around so many people and so many different types of energies. So I'm seeing basically a personality that's really of someone who is really intuitive, who's very sensitive, emotional, and has kind of had to harden themselves up a little bit in life, but is still really in touch with this side of themselves. They're not changing themselves. They're just learning how to protect their energy, protect their field, and their softer core. And again, I feel like they are really hardworking, so they're able to kind of withstand a lot. They have endurance, and they're not trying to rush things in life. They understand, like the moon, that there are cycles for different aspects of life. There's the upward cycle, the downward cycle, the stagnation cycle. Like we all have these different phases. And I feel like this person has really learned through trial and error and just life kind of testing them. They've learned to understand the different phases and cycles of life and accept them for what they are and flow with them. Just like the turtle can walk on land and swim in the water, this person has kind of mastered this ability to be both sensitive and intuitive, emotional, but yet consistent and hardworking and dedicated. Flow with the tides, but yet never get off track. And that's what I feel like is one of the most beautiful aspects of this person's personality. And I think with this strength card, they have a huge heart and so much love to give. So if this is the other person, I feel like they're going to be such a generous partner, such a giving partner. They might be slow to open up. So it might take a little bit of time. Maybe they have Venus in Taurus or the moon in Taurus. They might have a little bit of that protective layer or some kind of Scorpio layer, a Scorpio aspect to their chart. But once you do get to know them, they love very deeply. They're very loyal, and they have a lot of profound emotions. They might seem simple on the surface, but the turtle has a lot of complexity to it. So there are aspects of them that are simple, like their desires of love and everything like that. But I guess what I mean by complexity is more so that they are really spiritual, and they have some of these like incredible gifts to offer people. So it's not they're not simple in terms of not having a beautiful mind or a beautiful heart or a beautiful spiritual dimension to them. So that is person A. And person B has the black egg. So let me just look up some of those keywords for the black egg before we move on. The fifth chakra, the throat chakra, speech and expression. Authentic voice and truth. Okay, so this is all about speaking one's truth. And that makes a lot of sense with the Knight of Swords. Whereas the turtle person might be a little bit more reserved. This person with the black egg and the Knight of Swords, I think, is much more social and has a more gregarious energy that is really maybe more extroverted or desiring to kind of speak and talk to a lot of people. The turtle person acts quite slowly, but the Knight of Swords person tends to dive straight into things. They might even be considered somewhat impulsive or hasty by the turtle person just because they're so different in energies. But ultimately, the Knight of Swords person is really in touch with their own inner truth. And so that's how they act quickly. They're very intuitive. They get a download, they get an insight, and then they go towards it. So I did say they're very intuitive, but the Knight of Swords, I will say, is very logical as well. I think the turtle person has probably stronger intuitive gifts, or is much more like emotionally based, I should say. I hate to like rate people's gifts because I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the case here. But I feel like these are both intuitive people. I just think the Knight of Swords people might have like claircognizance or some other kind of gift where they just know things. They don't get like visions or hear things. Like this person might actually have some of those gifts where they have more senses kind of coming through. I'm getting like a very earthly type of psychic, whereas this person, black egg person, I feel like they just know stuff and they act on it. They speak it and it becomes true. And so I feel like the black egg at first might seem impulsive, but you'll quickly realize it's coming from a place of groundedness, of being sure in oneself and one's truth. And that's why they can act quickly. They're not just acting quickly on every whim. It's something that they feel full body yes for, and then they can pursue it. And so they might come at you if you are the turtle person. They might come at you quickly, or vice versa. You might come at the turtle person quickly. But just keep in mind that if that is your approach, that this person does take some time to open up, and this approach might kind of catch them off guard a little bit because it's not really how they operate. They've spent their whole life trying to protect themselves. Moving quickly is not really in the name of the game for them, if that makes sense. But I feel like this person has had a lot of luck with the Wheel of Fortune card in manifesting the things that they've wanted. They have this special card, the black egg. So I feel like I said, I think they speak something into existence and then it manifests. Like it's a very quick turnaround. And I think it's because, again, they're so kind of in alignment with themselves that they immediately take action. They immediately change when things, or pivot when things are not feeling right anymore. And so they just keep the energy flowing. Again, there are cycles to life that the Turtle card might be able to teach the Knight of Swords about, because maybe the Knight of Swords has an impatient energy around them, or hasn't necessarily learned the same lesson in their life around things taking their time, things being slower, things sometimes not working out so that something else can come in the way. I feel like this person has maybe had more luck, or has had better luck at kind of like paving their own way. So if they want something, they kind of get it, and then they haven't maybe had as many of the struggles as this person has. Like this person's energy feels heavier. This person feels light. Like they move and they flit around and finding the thing that fits them best. But I think that that's one of their best attributes, is that they have this really like lighthearted nature to them. I feel like they let things roll off their backs and they move on from things quickly and they don't let it get them down. I'm getting like a Gemini energy, somebody who can be really playful, somebody who is very agile with their words and is maybe even a good like flirter or communicator or texter. Like they text often, or they text with good speed. Yeah. And I think this Wheel of Fortune card is really trying to say that in this dynamic, this might be somebody that they feel like they hit the jackpot with the turtle person. And that's why they are going to be willing to kind of slow down their pace. They might still want to go quickly, but I feel like they will respect, because they intuitively can feel and sense with their good people person skills and extroverted skills. They can sense a turtle person pulling away energetically or moving towards them energetically. And so I think that they will use that to kind of give that person the right amount of space and the right amount of attention that they need. And I think having this person be so communicative, so there, and so supportive, and clearly really interested in them is going to help the turtle person really open up a lot more. And yeah, I think again with the Wheel of Fortune card, I feel like the Knight of Swords or the turtle person, or sorry, the black egg person is really going to feel like the turtle person is this gift that they are finally getting to unwrap in their life. Things are finally turning in their favor, romantically speaking. I don't know what this person's romantic history was, but maybe they had a more unstable life. Like maybe they traveled more, maybe they moved around more, maybe they were just like connecting a lot socially, but didn't really find their right person for them. And it seems like there could be, I mean, I guess I have to see the rest of the cards to see the dynamic, but it seems like this person finally feels like they have maybe met their match, or met somebody worth of substance that's really worth something. Because this person, they might attract people who are not very substantial, because sometimes when you have this like really extroverted, quick moving and talkative energy, you can attract people who are inconsistent or who are just attracted to that lightness, and they are not necessarily stable or substantial and have something true to offer. And I feel like they're going to be really attracted to this person's substance and to how they've worked on themselves. And I think that the turtle person can help ground the Knight of Swords person and help them work on themselves. The Knight of Swords person can help lighten the turtle person and help them see how to manifest things in life with a lot more like happiness and joy and ease. Okay, so now let's get into what is happening with the dynamic, like the blessings and the gifts coming from this. I got she who thrives, flourish, prosper, and blossom. That's beautiful. I got the 9 of Swords. This artwork is so pretty, by the way. 9 of Swords. 6 of Wands in reverse. I feel called that this is for the turtle person, actually, and then this is for the black eye person. Wheel of Fortune again. Okay. This definitely clarifies what I was saying about this person feeling like this person is just, like the turtle person is just such a gift. And then the sun. Aww. So yeah, this feels like a lot of clarification about what I was saying. This Knight of Swords person just being really kind of lighthearted and joyous and bringing a lot of light to the relationship with this turtle person. Because I feel like with the 9 of Swords upright and the 6 of Wands in reverse, this is really just reiterating a lot about this person having kind of anxiety in life, like not trusting things about life. Maybe they're in a phase right now where things are not really going according to plan, or maybe this is just a past energy. Regardless, the 6 of Wands in reverse is someone trying to take themselves out of the spotlight. The 6 of Wands is where we get recognition for our beautiful talents and skills and personality traits. But the turtle person, I feel like, has been hiding. And they've been putting themselves in their shell. And what's great about this Knight of Swords person is that they're really going to bring that turtle person to the light, to the sunlight, to shine what's best about them, to own their gifts, to own their personality, to open up more. And I think bring some lightness into the dark depths of the ocean. The moon person has no trouble going into the dark depths of how they feel. And now there's finally coming some light there as well. So it's not just such deep, dark feelings all of the time. And again, this Wheel of Fortune card, I feel like they're going to show them how to manifest things. They're going to, I think, turn the turtle person's fortune into something more positive. And ultimately, I think that they, again, are going to see the turtle person as a blessing in their life, as someone who's coming in kind of like an answer to their prayers. Even though this person has been struggling a lot, I definitely feel like the Knight of Swords person, that doesn't phase them. You know, I don't think that they're like looking at the turtle person as someone who's damaged or someone who's not full of life. I think that that's not true at all. I think that they are just so attracted to the depth and the soul of this person that that I feel like they are so patient and so loving to work with them when they're not usually patient, which is interesting. So I guess I already kind of talked about some of the gifts. What else are they going to get from this relationship together? I got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. What else are they going to get from this relationship together? And then I got the King of Pentacles in reverse. So honestly, I feel like these should both be upright. So I'm going to switch them to upright because sometimes my deck just, I don't know. I just feel all this is intuitive, right? So I think that this is something of real substance in this dynamic. The 7 of Pentacles and King of Pentacles are about building something together, longevity. Again, I was getting this feeling of like this black egg person sees a turtle person as kind of marriage material or kind of endgame material, at least somebody who has substance that's worth investing time and energy into, which they don't normally feel. They might even be like a little bit of a player, like because they're so extroverted. They either just bounce around socially, or they might even have dated a lot in the past, kind of on the surface. But I feel like once they meet this turtle person, the turtle person drags them into the depths of their emotions, because they have done such deep self-analysis and self-work that I feel like they are really inspiring in a lot of ways to the Knight of Swords person. They're just missing some of the levity, some of the light, and that's what this black egg person is going to bring. Black egg and Knight of Swords is the same person. I hope that that's clear. The Seven of Pentacles here has artwork with like people starting a family together on it. So this might even be something that you guys can ultimately get out of this relationship, is having a child together, if that's something that you're interested in. Or with the King of Pentacles especially, it could be working together and creating some kind of greater financial abundance. Like if this is a work relationship and not even romantic, then I feel like this is some kind of really substantial long-term work relationship that has the potential to create prosperity for both parties. But this reading is really primarily directed to romantic relationships because of this transit that we're going through. But yeah, I feel like there's this long-term prosperity, the sense of stability. I feel like both partners can really feel like they can trust the other person, and that might have been missing for both of them. The Knight of Swords person, I think, might have felt like they can't trust people because of their type of social surface type of energy and attracting more of that. The turtle person might feel like they can't trust certain people because they've been hurt in the past. Regardless, they both kind of end up with the same result of being disappointed in others, or feeling like other people are not, what they say they're going to be. And so they end up kind of being a little bit suspicious or uncertain about people at first. And I feel like once these people meet and over time, like slowly get to know each other, because the turtle person needs time, they're going to realize that there's a lot of substance here and things that they can lean on and can trust. The King of Pentacles also kind of gives this like strong business vibe, this really strong leadership vibe. So this might be a power couple, people who've worked really hard on things in their life or have manifested things in their life that really come together nicely and make them like this incredible power couple that others really look up to as a leader. Even if the turtle person isn't wanting to be in the spotlight, I think that the Knight of Swords person might help drag them into spotlight more and get more of their work visible. And I think that they have so much substance, so much to offer, that people are really going to, again, admire and respect them and look up to them as like this leadership couple. And then I have the She Who Thrives, Flourish, Prosper, and Blossom card connecting these people. So I think that that's saying the relationship is here to prosper. It's here to help both parties ascend. And if you can see, this isn't just a tree, it's two hands. So I feel like once these people join together, they can make this like, I don't know what you would call this, kind of like this hand cup of energy that is going to help them ascend into the next level of their life. Maybe they'll ascend financially. Maybe they'll ascend to the next level of having a family together. Maybe they will become more well-known and become that power couple. But regardless, I think they are going to benefit extremely from this relationship, and it's going to help them blossom into the people that they were truly meant to be once they find some of this like counterpart energy. Someone bringing, like the black eye bringing the lightness, the turtle bringing the depth, and really mixing and to create this beautiful, solid relationship. So that is what I'm seeing for my pile ones. If you like this, please do let me know by giving me a comment down below and a thumbs up. I really appreciate any support you could offer that way. If you're interested, I also offer tarot and astrology readings, and you can check those out in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye. All right, my beautiful pile twos. This is for those of you who chose the Strength card. I am recording this a few days later, and I had a heater going and it bent these cards right here, which is just so crazy. I don't know if you can see that, but they're rounded now. So anywho, so the Strength card to me definitely indicates that you guys might be going through some bigger life transition at the time of meeting somebody. Maybe this person helps provide a lot of strength. Maybe you guys are really resilient characters. But there's just this general kind of Leo strength energy coming through that reminds me of the tarot. So yeah, we'll see how that applies as we move forward. This next card I have is going to describe person A and the relationship, and then we'll go over person B as well. So person A is the zebra, and they have the King of Wands card and the Chariot card. And then, let me actually put this like this. Oh my gosh, these cards are irritating. They were a gift from somebody, and you know how that goes. Okay. Person B is the unicorn. Okay, so both kind of horse type animals, which is interesting. And they have the characteristics of the the Knight of Wands. Oh, interesting. And the Devil card. All right. So definitely I feel like you guys are very similar characters and character traits. I think that sometimes that's really beautiful and really awesome for relationships, having a lot of similarities with your partner. Sometimes it can mean that you butt heads. That's one of the first things I got with this strength card. I feel like you guys are both have really strong characters and opinions and sense of self. And I think that sometimes you guys might clash because of that, like two leaders or two dominant type of personalities. I do think that one person, though, is maybe more mystical than the other person, with one person having the unicorn and the other person having the zebra. I feel like the unicorn is like the spiritual version of the zebra, but they're both very unique individuals. The zebra is a very special animal with all of its stripes. There's nothing quite like the zebra. It really stands out, and so does the unicorn. So I feel like you guys both really do stand out in the crowd. You guys both have a high up wands card, so I think that you have a lot of passion, a lot of vibrancy and intensity that people naturally gravitate towards. Again, like really strong showmanship or like leadership. So I got that Leo energy. I could see you guys being performers or being visible in front of people in some kind of way, or leaders of some type that's really inspiring and passionate to people. And again, just like very magnetic type of personalities. Like people are interested in you. The zebra person is going to have, I think, an eclectic, unique kind of approach to maybe their style or their personality, their behavior, and that type of thing. And the unicorn person, they could even be foreign. And then the unicorn person, I think, is this more mystical kind of creature, and that people are magnetized towards them because they can feel that there is all these kind of deeper realms of the mystical or spiritual world residing within them. And I think, yes, people can tap into that. They can see their intuition. And I think that they are in awe of this person's abilities. They might even be kind of like psychic or somehow tapped into that realm. The zebra person, I think, is more successful than the Knight of Wands person. The unicorn person. And that just might be at this phase of their life. The unicorn person could maybe be younger. And that's why I really think that they're more successful, because I think that there might be an age difference here. If that's not the case, I just think that the zebra person has had more of a chance for them to really hone in on their willpower. They have the Chariot, which is all about directing one's will, making a decision and going full force into it, knowing that what you're doing is the right thing, and not stopping until you succeed. Whereas the Devil card has a lot more to do with, which the unicorn person has. The Devil card has a lot more to do with limiting beliefs, being uncertain of oneself, maybe even stepping into self-sabotaging behavior like addictive tendencies or escapist tendencies. And as a unicorn, I think they have a strong Neptune in their chart and are able to access really deep spiritual realms because of it. But on top of that, usually Neptune is associated with dissociation from reality, disconnecting from reality through substance or through even meditation. Just kind of like they can unground themselves through certain practices and habits that might be stemming from stress, overworking themselves, limiting beliefs, like all these kinds of things that the devil card can typically represent. So I think that the zebra person is probably here to help ground the unicorn person in a way that helps them overcome some of these personal limitations that they've set upon themselves. I think that they're going to help them become more disciplined, stick to a schedule, eat better, maybe smoke less, like whatever kind of bad habits the unicorn person may have formed, or even negative thought patterns the person may have formed. I think the zebra person is going to show them how through their own willpower, they can stop those thoughts or stop those patterns and behaviors that are keeping them a little bit behind the zebra person. The reason I say they're behind is because the King of Wands is a more advanced card from the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands has not really mastered yet how to use their passion in a really consistent and thorough way. The King of Wands knows how to lead with his passion. He has taken the time to not only go super deep into what he's feeling, and use that passion for good, but also keep the flame burning. And the Knight of Wands person might be somebody who is struck with passion and will work in bursts. So they feel one moment or one day that they are on the right path and they're interested in what they're doing, and so they get a lot done that day, but then maybe the next day or 2 days later they kind of fall off the bandwagon and there's less consistency in that. They might even be more impulsive in their nature, so maybe they kind of are going towards their whims, especially with this devil card. They're just kind of going towards their whims rather than the King of Wands zebra person who knows how to use their passion, but not go off on tangents or go off on whims that are not ultimately going to get them to the long-term result they're looking for. I just think this person has better willpower, consistency, and ability to think long-term in decision-making. And I think that the zebra person with those skills is going to help the unicorn person develop those parts of themselves. But I feel like the unicorn person is going to bring a lot of passion and playfulness to the relationship. This like exploratory energy that I think the zebra person could use a little bit more of. The zebra is quite literally black and white. And I think sometimes it might be the case that sometimes they see things a little bit black and white, or are maybe a little bit stubborn or stuck in their ways. I think that they feel very passionate and energized about something, but then I think that they think that is like the end all be all, and that is the right answer. And the unicorn person, I think, is dropping some magic into the zebra person's life and helping them see, like with these third eye colors here. I think the unicorn person is helping them bring the colors into their life, bring the magic, bring the imagination, the intuition, the vibrancy of possibility. And that's what I really feel like the Knight of Wands is bringing, is that kind of creative spark in a new direction, allowing them to see maybe other possibilities that they hadn't considered. Because I feel like the zebra person is more fully formed, whereas the unicorn person is like a more open vessel. So the unicorn person can communicate messages through spirit. It can take on the form that it wants to take on in a given moment, or that best serves that purpose. So I think that they're going to help bring less rigidity to the zebra person, give them more of this openness to connect with spirit, receive messages about how to move forward instead of it all being willpower and passion for what already exists. I think that they're going to see a lot more potentials and a lot more paths unfold in front of them as a unicorn person steps into their life and illuminates those possibilities. I also think the unicorn person is going to help them see a little bit more into the darkness. With this unicorn card, the devil, I think that the unicorn person has spent more time in moments of darkness, or examining the darker negative parts of themselves, the shadow self. And that's why this unicorn has this dark background with the moon behind it, because it's through the shadow self that the unicorn has been fully integrated and realized a lot of the colors of life, a lot of the beauty of life, because you have to have the light and the dark together to see the contrast, right? And so I think the unicorn person has a lot of experience diving really deep into its soul, and specifically into the shadow of its soul with this devil card, seeing the things that maybe other people don't want to look at, And I think the zebra person might just be someone who has a ton of willpower and they just go towards what feels right, but they might not spend a lot of time in self-analysis or looking into their shadow self. And so they might be like somebody who kind of bulldozes their feelings sometimes. And so I think the unicorn person is helping them open up to their feelings, help open up to becoming more sensitive, and bringing in some of that creative, imaginative energy through that aspect of their life. So this is super beautiful. I definitely can see these people having some really strong similarities. I mean, these are both like horse type animals. So I think that these are people who will really go a long distance in this lifetime. I think the unicorn person will go a long distance also, like spiritually speaking. And the zebra person will go a long distance in terms of doing a lot of unique things with their life. I think that these people, when I think of horses, I think of them grazing and this level of like consistency. So even though the unicorn person might not have that consistency right now, I think ultimately they have the ability or the innate skill within them. It's just some shadows coming up that's preventing that, or some things that they have to grow and develop with maturity and time. And so I think that both of them will be really consistent in the progress they make forward. And they both desire a sense of freedom. I think that they're both really following their passions, what makes them come alive. And so they're not going to be the kind of person to just go towards any 9 to 5 just because. They're really going to be people who pave their own way, who need their own freedom, and who show their uniqueness through their career or through their life choices. And I think that strength card, again, is showing, I feel like the strength card is coming in with like a stubbornness. I think both of them have a really strong character and can be a little bit stubborn in certain ways. The zebra person, I think, can be more fixed in their ways in terms of what they want to do and like how they go after it. And I think the unicorn, I feel like their fixedness is not necessarily coming from that same place. I think it's more so like them almost being a little bit stuck in the devil energy at times. And so utilizing the strength that they gain from each other, I think is going to help them overcome wherever they might be fixed or stuck into place in their life. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the blessings or the gift this relationship is going to give, which honestly for the last group, like these cards and everything I was saying matched what came through here. So this is describing both people, but it shows a lot about how people can help each other. So we'll see if these gifts are any different. We got the she who waits, patience, waiting, and determination. Okay, this paired with the strength card definitely gives me the vibe that these individuals are waiting on some kind of success. I do think with the zebra king of wands person, I think they've achieved some kind of success already, but I feel like they're wanting more, they're going after more, and they might even be working together, these individuals. But there is some element of needing strength to withstand the kind of obstacles and things that come up in pursuit of a really big dream or a really big goal. So I feel like both of these people can draw on the strength of each other and use that support from one another to be able to wait out the difficulties or the things not working and wait out the sluggishness that sometimes occurs when you want things to move quickly. I think also with being the Wands cards, both individuals want things to move really fast. The Zebra person also has a Chariot, so I think that, again, they really want things to move fast, and they want it to move fast at their own accord to the point where I feel like they would push things artificially. But I think the Unicorn person recognizes that things need to happen organically. Regardless, both personalities might be somewhat impatient or impulsive at times because of this, and so I think this is a recommendation or something that they can develop together as a couple, is this ability to be patient and wait and be determined on their path towards their goals. The next card we have is the Ten of Wands. This makes a lot of sense given what I was just saying. The Two of Swords. The Ace of Cups, that's beautiful. And the Emperor, beautiful. Okay, so I kind of split these up. And I think that this is, again, kind of showing what these people may have mastered and bring to the relationships. Because, again, the unicorn, look, the emperor is in the water on his throne. And then the Ace of Cups is also in the water. Okay, so essentially, I feel like... Okay, I feel like these cards... All right, I'm just going to talk. Forget about it. So I'm trying to organize it. Okay, so the unicorn... Okay, first of all, with the Ace of Cups, I feel like this is saying that the unicorn has a lot to offer the zebra in terms of helping them develop, like I was saying, a lot more emotional connection with themselves, an intuitive connection. I think that there's an opportunity here for the zebra to go a lot deeper into his or her emotional nature, and the unicorn is going to help them go into the depths, go into the darkness. The Ace of Cups also shows me that this is not just a work relationship, but this is definitely some kind of romantic offering of love. And one of them might be approaching the other to offer love, or they might be doing that together. But it's a new opportunity for them to have a new, fresh start in terms of relationships. So if these people have had bad relationships in the past, this Ace of Cups is really like a regenerative type of connection that's going to allow them to have a complete start from scratch and not feel like they have all these fears and insecurities and uncertainties that might have been caused by past trauma in relationships. So I'm not sure what their past is, but definitely a fresh start in terms of love, a really awakening, like emotional new beginning for them. And the Emperor card, I think, is definitely talking about what I was mentioning from the zebra to the unicorn, where the zebra is going to help the unicorn to develop a little bit more of the divine masculine, help them be consistent and have a structure, have a schedule, use their internal willpower to direct their energy each and every day in a really, again, consistent, stable way. I think that the unicorn is someone that feels very inspired, but they're going to have to learn how to put that inspiration into some kind of structure. So I think that is ultimately what the zebra is going to give the unicorn person. And it's going to be from there that they're able to achieve a lot more success in their life. The Ten of Wands, to me, I think is coming from the King of Wands and the Chariot, essentially the zebra person. Honestly, it might be both of them, actually, given that we got the Strength card, the Determination card, because the Ten of Wands is about being exhausted, being in being in a circumstance that you can't just keep going with. I forget what the word is. Like, at some point, you're going to get burnt out. At some point, you're going to be too tired to continue on. And I think that both of them might be actually at this phase of their life, the zebra person even more. I think they're trying to achieve some kind of goal. They're really pushing. They're really striving. I think the unicorn is almost exhausting itself more out of its own habits and inconsistencies. And I feel like the zebra person is exhausting itself by trying to force things rather than go with the flow of the cycles of life. And I think that there's just the timing, the divine timing here for both of them in their life paths is not quite right. And I think that together they are going to find the patience, the strength, and the determination to keep going, even in this Ten of Wands situation. So I feel like they're not meant to give up. It's just that whatever they're trying to go after right now, the timing is just not right. Like it needs more time to unfold. So I think that they are here to support each other through whatever hardship they might be experiencing, whatever thing that seems to be dragging on and on and on, the stagnation of this phase of their life that just won't end. And they're like ready to finally up level to go to the next phase of their life. The Two of Swords is interesting. I really hate how they depicted this card. I love this deck so much, but they look like they're fighting. And the Two of Swords is about indecision. So maybe the fight is that there's an internal battle. What's interesting, though, is that the unicorn reminds me a lot of this merman here, and the zebra reminds me a lot of this actual person. And so I do kind of feel like this goes with what I was saying about them both being a little bit headstrong and both of them thinking that like they know what's right and kind of combating each other. So I think that even though this relationship has a lot of love and growth within it, I think it does have some combative, like headbutting type of energy as well. The other thing I will say about the Two of Swords is that they might sometimes butt heads around what decision to make. So they might have two different approaches to the same like outcome. And so they might have trouble deciding which path to take. Like, do you want to take this road to get to the restaurant or that road to get to the restaurant? Because I feel like ultimately they are the same person. They're very similar people and they are going to the same place. I just think that they might argue or be indecisive and butt heads around how they are going to do that. And I think that's where the growth comes from, though, is their different approaches help inform and teach the other person what they're lacking. But at times it could be definitely frustrating and lead to kind of this stalemate or not knowing what to do in the moment because you don't really know who to actually like side with, if that makes sense. So that is what I'm seeing for you, pile 2. I hope that this resonates. If it does, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up and a comment down below. That means so much to be able to receive your support that way. And if you're interested in supporting me even more, you can always purchase a tarot or astrology reading. I specialize in astrology, but obviously I love tarot, in the description box below. And I hope that you guys have such a beautiful day. Bye. All right, up next we have my beautiful pile 3s who chose card 31, Receptivity. And I am filming this a couple of days later, and unfortunately the cards here bent. I don't know if you guys can see that, which is super odd. So just kind of bear with me. So this receptivity card is really beautiful in terms of relationships. I feel like if you guys have had past relationships that were unequal, this reminds me a lot of the Six of Pentacles in tarot, where those past relationships are out, they're gone, they're out of the picture, and you can now trust that whoever you're with gives to you equally. You can receive as much as you give out, energetically, emotionally, service-wise, or action-wise. It feels like it's truly a balanced kind of dynamic, which I love that. So we're going to get more into that in a second, but let's have a look at each individual in this relationship and see their characteristics as well as their blessings. So person A is the Dolphin, and they have the Ace of Cups and the King of Pentacles. Let me just get these down here. Person B is the Oyster. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. The last group had 2 like horse type animals, and you guys have 2 ocean type animals. And then we have, Oyster has the 7 of Cups and the 3 of Wands. Oh, they have another one. They also have the Queen of Wands. Okay, interesting. So I think that's the only one that might have 3. All right, so let's get into this dynamic. What is going on here with these beautiful individuals? Okay, so I want to first say, when I look at the oyster or the Dolphin card, I first of all am thinking about just how happy and happy-go-lucky dolphins are. They are just this really vibrant, creative, playful, loving animal. And I feel like the Ace of Cups really represents that. I think that this is a person who maybe, because there's similar colors between these cards, I really think that this person with the Ace of Cups has had so much love to give in past relationships, just so much of their heart, like this extremely generous, kind, loving person. And I think that that might have gotten them hurt in the past, because I don't think, I mean, maybe not, but I don't think that this person has always gotten that back in the same ways that they give it out, or maybe people have taken advantage of them, because that tends to happen with people who are just so pure of heart and have so much love to give. They often attract people who are takers until they learn the proper boundaries. But I think that they absolutely have learned the proper boundaries with this King of Pentacles card. I think that they've done a lot of work on themselves over the years to learn how to protect their energy, protect themselves and their light, so that they don't have to dim their light, so they don't have to be fearful or afraid of giving love away to people, and just being authentically who they are. And so this is such a beautiful relationship. I love this so much. I will say also that this dolphin person, I think, has done not only a lot of work on their emotional state so that they have so much love to give, and I think that this also is accompanied by their spiritual connection. I think that they are really protected and loved and cared for by angels and guides and maybe even a passed over loved one. And so they have this kind of like childlike innocence to them, or this sweetness and this purity to them that I think the universe and the heavens want to protect. And I think that spiritual connection with their ancestors, with their angels, or whoever is on their side, I think it's helping them manifest things in this real world with this King of Pentacles card. I kind of want to pull one more card to get clarity on the King of Pentacles. Okay, we got the Ten of Swords. Interesting. So I think that this person has really allowed themselves to listen to their guides. What I'm getting from this is that this person is, again, like really pure and connected to their loved ones and their guides. And I think that because of that, they have been unafraid to transition into different parts of their life. You can see this Ten of Swords. This merman or mermaid is being killed, and then the spirit is being awoken up and freed into going into the next life. And so this is an extremely spiritual card because it is the card that shows the transition between one life ending and another beginning, and what the soul goes through, that process of detaching from that previous life and moving into a new one. So I feel like this dolphin is so successful, or will be so successful, this King of Pentacles, because they have an ability to just leave what wasn't working. Like, I feel like they're not afraid to start over, or if they get a message from the divine telling them, hey, like, this isn't your path anymore, now you should go down this path. I feel like the dolphin's like, okay, sure, let's go. Like, it kind of reminds me of the Fool card, but it's not the Fool in the sense that the dolphin is naive, because I think they have had a lot of difficult experiences in their life, or just I feel like this person is buoyant and happy and light and pure, despite having those things happen to them in life. That might not be the case. Maybe they have had a good life, but I definitely feel like I think they feel they've had a good life, but I think they have had hardships, to be honest. And they're just happy because that's who they are, because that's their soul's nature. I totally forgot what I was saying before, but essentially, I think that they are willing to just pack up and leave the difficulties of the past, or leave this old version of themselves in the past, and go down the path that spirit tells them to go down in each and every moment. So they're not afraid to burn the ship down and go into the island and form a new life there. And so I think that they are going to reach a lot of material success in this lifetime because of that. I also think that this person, even though they are really intuitive, this is a water animal, they're sensitive, they're emotional, they're happy, they're creative, even though they have all these aspects of themselves, I think that they are also extremely grounded. They might have strong earth and water in their chart, predominant in their chart. And I think that they are somebody who really values hard work. They value also having good balance of play and emotional alignment with what they're doing, though. They don't just work to the bone and become exhausted. I think ultimately what they do is they go towards their passions, they go towards their creative visions, and then they decide to put full out as much dedicated energy as they can into it. And they are willing to pivot in any moment and adapt, which kind of reminds me of like an air sign too. Like, they're willing to adapt in any moment when it's needed. They're not afraid to do that because they trust. There's a lot of trust here with the dolphin. They feel very, very guided by like angelic influences. And I think they know that or feel that even subconsciously. And because of that, they trust that they can leave things behind, change things, and make different decisions. And they also trust that eventually they will reach, if they're not already there, strong financial success and stability in their lives. I think that they also, again, are willing to delegate and make sure that they don't take on too much. They seem like a strong leader kind of position, somebody that people also trust, because the dolphin is so trusting of the right people. They have learned how to protect themselves, have boundaries. And so other people can recognize that, and they see the dolphin as a really inspirational leader in their life, which is kind of similar to Pile too. So yeah, I definitely am getting strong leadership position, but from a place, I feel like the dolphin might even be, I don't know, like the dolphin might not necessarily be out here like trying to inspire people, but I think what they're doing like is they're creating some kind of empire in their life. And just them living that way is an example of inspiration to other people. So that's really how I see the dolphin. Now let's look at the oyster. The oyster has the Seven of Cups, Three of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. So, okay. This one, I feel like this person inherently is more complex. I love the dolphin because they have these really unique characteristics that almost seem like they shouldn't go together. Like this badass, like business owner or super rich, stable person who also has this like childlike energy, like super playful and fun and always optimistic. Like that doesn't always combine together. So I really love to see this beautiful energy, because again, I see water, air, and earth. So the only thing that they're really missing is the fire. So they seem like they have a good balance of those three elements in their chart or in their personality, which is stability and consistency and hard work with the earth, emotional sensitivity and intuition and receptiveness with water, and with air, adaptability and intellect that helps them move forward creatively. The oyster person has a ton of air and water, a ton of fire and water. So the oyster person, I feel like, has also had a lot of difficulties in life, but they not that they wear it on their shoulder more. I think that the dolphin person is just inherently a more enthusiastic, optimistic, smiley, laughing kind of person. Whereas I feel like the oyster is really good at transforming the difficult things that has happened to them, taking a lot of the wisdom from those circumstances, and filtering them out back into the world in a really beautiful way. But I don't think that they're necessarily as like happy. They almost like, they don't even have a face, you know? I feel like there's like a little bit more of stoicism, or just not as like this excitable energy that the dolphin has. This person seems more like less expressive is, I guess, what I want to say. And what I think is so beautiful about the oyster, though, even though it does seem more like basic in terms of a life form, the dolphin is definitely more complex in the sense that they literally have something that I'm writing a book right now, and there's something called the von Economo neurons, which are empathy neurons that allow us to have intuition and then feel what other people feel. Dolphins have those. A few species of animals have them. Dolphin is one of them. Oyster is definitely not one of them. Not that they're not empathetic, but just that they are a little bit more basic in terms of life. So this person, even though they have like complexity in their makeup, they might come across as like more simple, more straightforward, less expressive, but really they are profound healers. And the reason I say that is because they have the ability to take all of the negativity that comes in around them and that they may have experienced in life and filter it. So they give back to the world something much more beautiful, much more pure. So I think that these people are attracted to each other because they both have this ability to transmute darkness and difficulty into a lot of love and light and purity. There is purity in both of these cards that I'm seeing. They both have like a pure heart, a pure soul. And I feel like the oyster person is also extremely giving. So that's why I think I'm getting this receptivity card. Maybe both people in the past, again, have had relationships that weren't as giving to one another. But they, like, now that they've met each other, they're both giving. They're both pure. They're both loving. And it's like they can finally find a match for each other. While the dolphin person seems more like business savvy and more like earthly in terms of their personality, I think that they also have a lot of this intuition, a lot of love to give, a lot of spiritual devotion with the Ace of Cups. And I think that the oyster person is attracted to that because they are also ruled by Neptune with the Seven of Cups card. They also have a lot of spiritual and psychic gifts. They're likely very in tune with the dolphin person. They're probably picking up on things that the dolphin person maybe doesn't even want them to know, like a slight shift in the mood, a way that they move their face, even like energy from a distance. It's like this oyster person is extremely tuned into the dolphin person's energy and everyone's energy around them. They are tuned into the environment because they're always sifting through the dirt and then spitting out only the good. So I feel like because of that, they are tuned into really subtle energy shifts. They might even be an energy worker. And they just have this ability to tap into like these intense spiritual realms that I think they can go really deep. Like I could see them being almost like untethered sometimes. Like they can go into a really deep meditative state where they're almost like leaving their body. Whereas a dolphin person with the King of Pentacles is super grounded. Like they have a more like realistic or earthly version of spirituality, whereas the oyster person I think has this more like ethereal, energetic kind of spirituality. But they're both able to connect and bring their types of spirituality together. The dolphin person being more practical, the oyster person maybe being a little bit more profound in their spiritual practices. They're able to bring this together in a really beautiful way and complement each other. The oyster person also has quite a bit of fire going on here with the Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Actually, before I go into that, there's something else I want to say. The dolphin person with the King of Pentacles, I think is somebody who might have like strong Capricorn energy, is somebody who is really focused on long-term goals. And they might not always know exactly what they're doing in every moment, but they're generally someone who has a plan, who has a vision, is working hard step by step to get there. The oyster person might be a little bit more of like a fly by the seat of the pants kind of person with the Seven of Cups. They might be more indecisive. They might have a vision, but the vision changes. They're more open to kind of where that will take them. And I think the dolphin person is really open as well with the Ten of Swords. They're willing to end things and start things again at the drop of a hat. So it's not that they're not both adaptable. Both of them have this air quality to them. However, I think the oyster person is just less clear on their vision, less precise, less like super goal oriented. They're more spiritual. I do think though with the Three of Wands, while they're looking out into the future, like they are driven as well. They are going towards goals. I just think that sometimes it might not be as clear to them, or sometimes they are using their spirituality as their like guiding beacon rather than maybe as like as grounded of a step-by-step plan as a dolphin person. So it's not that this oyster person doesn't have a plan, because I think that they do. I just think that they are a little bit more watery in terms of like how things unfold. Okay, so yeah, Three of Wands, Queen of Wands. I think that this person has a lot of fire in their chart, as I was mentioning. I feel like these people are, this oyster person is very passionate. I could see them being very much in tune with their feminine energy with the Seven of Cups and Queen of Wands. Like they know how to embrace their feminine nature. They know how to express their sensitivity with the Seven of Cups. They're not afraid to be extremely creative. This is one of the most creative cards actually. So writers, musicians, painters, people like that will have this kind of Queen of Wands, Seven of Cups energy. And again, it's because they're in touch with their feminine side that they're able to express emotions through these creative ventures. I think they could also be really passionate lovers with the Queen of Wands. Again, they might even be kind of witchy or like really intuitive with the cat here on the Queen of Wands cards. Like I think that they, I think that they actually do have a lot of confidence in themselves. Even though the Seven of Cups, I don't know, they might oscillate between having a lot of confidence, being super sure of themselves, and with the Seven of Cups being like a little bit uncertain or even insecure in their decision-making process. So they might kind of oscillate between those two kind of characteristics. But I do think that generally deep down within them, they are really confident, especially when they are like going on adventures and doing things that are really bold and taking risks. I feel like this dolphin person is really fun and playful and willing to try lots of things. But I think the oyster person is really attracted to actually going out there into the unknown, to not knowing how things will work out. And that the Seven of Cups and Three of Wands, like their personality gravitates towards the unknown. And that sometimes is coming up in personalities of people who are really adventurous and like to take risks. Because what is risk? It's moving into something that you don't know the outcome of. And so I feel like these people are really good at navigating that, and they can bring a lot of that into the dolphins person's life, like this ability to take risks and move into the unknown and challenge themselves in different ways and in ways that they haven't done before. I also think that the oyster person will help balance the dolphin person out by bringing them more fire into their life. I do think the dolphin person is passionate and emotional, but I think that they might lack some of this strong fire where they know what they want, they know what they're worth, they're confident, they're using their intuition to take risks, to be bold. I think some of those things the dolphin person might kind of lack. I think that they're so pure, they are guided by their spirit guides and whatnot, but I think sometimes like this kind of aggressive, risk-taking, bold personality type is really beneficial to them to help them achieve even more greatness with this King of Pentacles. I think the oyster person also is going to benefit by the dolphin person's King of Pentacles because I think it's going to help them like get more clarity in their life. I think that this person, the dolphin person, might help the oyster person in their career and understand like what risks are worth taking, what trips are worth going on and pursuing. And so I feel like they're going to help ground them into more of a plan, into more of a vision. And I think ultimately the greatest benefit that they're going to give each other is just equal receptiveness and love. And I think that that's this is one of the most beautiful relationships I've seen so far. Okay, up next in terms of blessings that they get from each other is she who hesitates, ponder, delay, and confidence. That is really exactly what I was just saying about being more confident. I feel like this oyster person can teach the dolphin person about how to be more confident and be like really decisive. Although the King of Pentacles, I think, is generally decisive. I think that maybe the decisiveness also needs to come in terms of like a clear vision for the oyster person. In general, I think that the oyster person's helping the dolphin person become more confident in themselves. She who flies, do, dare, and reach. Okay, yes. So I think both individuals are helping the other do, dare, and reach in their life. So I think the oyster person is helping the dolphin person do this in the sense of flying in terms of taking risks, jumping off a cliff, not literally, but you know, that kind of energy of like, let's jump into the unknown together. Let's take this risk together. I think the dolphin person is helping the oyster person reach towards greater heights with this King of Pentacles. I think they have really big visions, really big plans. They're grounding in reality. They're willing to work hard. And I think they help that oyster person achieve certain career goals by daring to do more than maybe they would do just on their own. Up next, we have the Five of Wands in reverse, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, I'm just going to take these all upright because I think so. I think that's what we should be doing. Okay. Okay. So I feel like this has a lot to do with kind of what I was saying before. I think that these people in the past may have been in relationships or friendships or some kind of community where their energy was discordant with the energy of the group or with the energy of that relationship. So for example, I'll use a personal example, like really got along well with my ex, super great guy, but I am obviously woo as fuck and he is an engineer. And so there was just this disagreement in terms of spiritual beliefs, ways that we didn't really see eye to eye. Not that we ever argued about it. I mean, we had Venus on the ascendant in our synastry chart. There was no arguing at all. But I will say that dynamic, like we just didn't align in those ways. And so I feel like this receptivity card is telling me that this dynamic, these people are both spiritual. They're both trying to go after things in their life. They both have visions for the future. It's like there's not as much discordance in terms of personality. Like they definitely have more things that they're trying to work towards the same goal. So it really feels like they're not having as much of that like discrepancy between one person thinking and behaving this way, another person doing this way. I will say though, with the Five of Wands, they might have a little bit, like with, especially with this fire energy here and this person lacking fire, they might have a little bit where the oyster person can rub the dolphin person a little bit the wrong way, because the fire can burn the dolphin person without the oyster person realizing it. So I think that this person could be quite sensitive. I think that they're both sensitive. So that just might be the case, that some of this fire sometimes will like nip at each other. They might have just like a lot of passion, but sometimes maybe a little bit of arguments or disagreements, even though I think they are the same kind of person, if that makes sense. Like they're not having this so clearly big breakdown between who they are, like me and my ex did. They are like the same kind of person going towards the same things. I just think there could be like little petty things that come up in terms of two people trying to like take the lead, or two people having two different approaches, especially one person being like more fiery and passionate than the other, and that kind of rubbing the dolphin person the wrong way. Up next, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So this to me is saying that they have the potential. Right now, I feel like this relationship is just at its beginning if they are already together. I think that they're still figuring each other out, figuring out how to build a life together. I think that they're also probably surprised with this Page of Cups at how much they are lighting up each other's life, how much emotion they have for the other person. With this fish here, it's like they're really getting to know themselves on a deeper emotional level through this relationship. And with the Page of Pentacles, I feel like this has the potential to be something really big and long term. And I think even in terms of career, they might even be able to work together in some facet of career. But it feels like it's just the beginning. It feels like it's a seed or the inkling with a lot of potential to grow. I think if this Five of Wands doesn't disturb too much these page cards, then I think ultimately they will have a very stable, a very emotionally fulfilling relationship. I think they might just have to balance all of these energies together. So yes, I think that is covering everything. So that is what I see for you, pile 3. If you enjoyed this, please support me by giving me a comment down below or a thumbs up. And if you're interested in supporting me even more, then please consider purchasing an astrology or tarot reading in the description box below. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye. All right, up next we have my beautiful pile 4s that chose the Eternal Light of Love card. And I did have these cards for some reason start curving. So I'm going to be doing weird stuff to hold these down. All right, so the Eternal Light of Love, to be honest, I don't know if I want to give this message because it depends on the rest of the cards. But to be honest, something that I felt from this was like unrequited love. Like, oh, I will always love you, but like not sure if that person loves you back. So the feeling I'm getting from this card is that maybe these two people are not together yet. Maybe it's just more like one person is more awakened than the other, or it's more of one-sided, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say that for sure. So let's go ahead and move on and we'll see if that is still relevant. But it feels like a love across lifetimes, to be honest. Like if you're not together in this lifetime, I think the reason that you love and care about them so much is because you have loved each other across many lifetimes, and maybe one person recognizes it, but the other person doesn't. So yeah, we'll see. We're going to take a look at the first person, and they have the character of the spider, along with the 10 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. The next person has the horse, and they have the 5 of Wands and 5 of Swords. So this is about their character as well as maybe kind of like what they're going through right now. And then we will talk about how these things can help balance the energy of the other person. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that person A, the spider, is a master manifester. Whether you are already there at the end goal or not, I do think that this person has incredible manifestation abilities, being that they're the spider and they have the 10 of Pentacles. I think that they understand the web of creation. They understand basically how their words create their reality, how their thoughts create their reality and their opportunities. And I think with the 8 legs of the spider, they have a lot of financial success. I think they have a lot of like worldly success. Yeah, I think that they have a lot of worldly success. They might sometimes feel a little bit trapped in that success because a spider is creating this web. And I think sometimes it might feel like it is stuck in this web, and not in a negative way of like, this is the life I've created and I'm stuck with it. It's just like they might feel that they have to stick to a certain regimen. They have certain responsibilities. When they really inherently have this page of wands within them that wants to like explore and do new stuff and take risks and go out into the unknown, follow certain passions and creative visions that they have. I think that they have this inherent nature within them. So they might feel like a little bit stifled in this creation, even though they want this creation and it's really stable and really beautiful and has a lot of worldly success. I think that there is still some part of themselves that wishes they could wake up on a Sunday and not know what they're doing for a few days. I think that they might wish that they had 3 hours of their day to just paint or go for a long walk or, you know, whatever else that they typically want to do. So it just feels like this kind of success at a little bit of a cost, not in that they don't want it, but that they just realize that there are certain things in their life that they have less control over or less movement in, when inherently in their nature, they are actually someone who desires a lot of freedom and a lot of movement. So that's something I'm seeing for the spider person. This horse person, I feel like does have a lot of freedom, which is so interesting because I wasn't even thinking about that. And yeah, I feel like this person is extremely intuitive. I think almost all the piles we had today are intuitive people, but this person seems like they are more tapped into their wild feminine. They have this moon here. I feel like they understand the cycles of life. And the moon kind of makes me feel like they might be going through a little bit of the dark night of the soul with these cards here. I think they've had maybe a harder life with these cards. Yeah, I think that ultimately though they feel like they are someone who embodies a lot of freedom naturally. So that's something that I think both people want. The horse person, though, I think has more of it than the spider person. I think the spider person has had to create freedom within certain confines of existing responsibilities and whatnot. And I think the horse person doesn't really have as many ties to them. They can just run and roam free. They can make changes and decisions in their life at any moment. It's like nothing is holding them down. Like they don't have a lot of like responsibilities and like pre-existing commitments and all these things that are keeping them to a certain schedule or to a certain way of being. And so I think that this feels really good for the horse person and is probably really inspiring to the spider person. Although again, the feeling that I got from them is that they are not together. I think that these people are living their own lives. They might know of each other, but I don't think that they are working together or are in a relationship together. I think that this person might even be of a higher caliber. The spider person might be of a higher caliber in terms of worldly success. And so they might be like on a public stage or a platform or some kind of visibility that the horse person doesn't have. And so maybe the horse person is actually looking towards the spider person as some kind of leader or as some kind of person that is a little bit at a distance than from than what they can just grasp in their hands. This 5 of Swords and 5 of Wands are both kind of like combative energy. And so the feeling that I'm getting is that this horse person has had maybe like quite a bit of relationship issues in the past. Maybe they feel like people have misunderstood them. Maybe they feel like people have been against them. I do want to pull a card for the 5 of Swords. I got the 4 of Swords. Oh my gosh. Maybe they felt like I don't know. I get the feeling that maybe they have tried in the past to resolve certain relationships. They've tried to like fix the situation and it caused more harm than good, or it just didn't like turn out the way that they'd hoped. And so it just kind of ends up being this disappointment. I feel like they've been really disappointed by people in the past, which is why they might be looking a little bit more towards the spider person, because this person is really established in their life and they might seem like they really have their ish together. and are really like trustworthy and secure. And I think that the horse person can see these innate qualities of the spider person, and maybe desire some of that stability, because I think that some people in their past have really let the horse person down, and they're looking for someone who is more stable, who is more consistent and loving, and who they know would be worth putting their time and energy into. And so I think that the horse person just kind of innately knows that the spider person is worth putting their energy into, and can see that they both desire this freedom and this creativity and this intuitiveness. And so I think that the horse person can feel the energy of the spider person. Maybe they're idealizing it, I don't know. But I think they can feel the energy of the spider person as being someone that is unlike what they've experienced in the past. With this 5 of Wands and this 5 of Swords and the 4 of Swords, I feel like they've just kind of resigned to stop trying to fix things with these people. They've taken almost a passive approach now to relationships, where they realize that there are people out there who will hurt you. And now I feel like they are trying to almost like rest and protect themselves a little bit more. And I feel like they're not putting themselves out there as much as the spider person has. The 5 of Wands, again, I feel like they've just encountered like opponents in their life. A lot of people who just disagree with certain aspects of themselves. Maybe this horse person wanted a certain amount of freedom and other people didn't get it. Maybe this horse person desired to pursue a type of career and people were like, I don't understand that in you. And so I feel like they've had to constantly feel like they've had to prove themselves. And I think that they've fought hard in a way to prove themselves and keep people around and try with these relationships until they realize it didn't get them anywhere. And they're like, fuck this. Like, I'm just going to go. I'm going to do me. I'm going to go with whoever does treat me right and leave those other people behind in the past, because ultimately they're not helping me. So I feel like this person might have a little bit of like a chip on their shoulder in relationships. And they might, again, be like really protective of themselves, like taking themselves out of the game. And that might be why these people, besides the fact that this person has more of a public presence and maybe is like famous or well known or more successful and at a distance, besides that fact, I think the horse person also might kind of have taken themselves out of the game in a lot of ways, or might be really hesitant to reach out and start new things with new people with this 4 of Swords. And so I think that that ultimately is contributing to another reason as to why they haven't connected or come together in real life. So let's start to see the benefits that these people can get out of their relationship together. So even though they don't have maybe an earthly relationship together, or like an established relationship together, I do feel like you can still receive blessings and benefits from the other person, just by their energy and like awareness of their existence in your life. So that's what we're going to talk about now. So the card I have there is She Who Radiates Knowing, Ambition, and Confidence. Page of Swords. 3 of Cups. 6 of Swords in reverse. Temperance. And the Tower card. Okay, so to be honest, I feel like I don't want to read too much about the spider person benefiting from the horse person. And the reason being is because I feel like the spider person might have less awareness of the horse person. And so they might be less consciously affected by them. They might still be energetically affected by them, but I feel like the horse person is observant to the spider person, and so they are not only energetically but also consciously affected by their presence. So I'm going to read more so from that direction. I might say some stuff about spider to horse, but very limited if I do. Okay, so the card I have here is She Who Radiates Knowing, Ambition, and Confidence. So I feel like the horse person is admiring the spider person for what they were able to create in their life. This following that they have, this stability that they have. And I think that ultimately this connection or knowing about this person is going to help them reach greater levels of success as well. And I think it's going to spur their ambition and spur their inner confidence to go out and achieve certain things. Seeing a spider person do it, they're like, why can't I fucking do that? Like, there's no reason I can't do that. So it seems like a really, really beautiful thing in order to ultimately undergo a transformation that helps them become more confident in who they are and what they have to offer. I think that this person is also going to have some healing done through this connection. The reason I say that is because the Temperance card is next to the Tower card. And as I was mentioning, I feel like this person has had a lot of relationships in the past that have maybe hurt them, disappointed them, disagreed with who they are. And I think it has led to kind of like this tower or this fall of like their beliefs in partnerships, their desire to pursue partnerships, their like basically just, I don't know. I think that it could even be an ending of a relationship, or it could be the past relationships that have ended. Those kinds of dynamics that have led to pain and hurt are being healed by this spider connection. So maybe even if the horse isn't with the spider, just knowing them, seeing them, having them there is helping facilitate healing of past pain, as well as maybe even present pain if there are certain things in their life that aren't working out, if there are certain things in their life in terms, especially in terms of relationships that are falling away or unstable or not providing what they need. I think that they are healing through this spider person, through this connection with them, through the image of them, through the energy that they bring to their life. I think that they might have some kind of message that they deliver to the horse person, whether that's directly or inadvertently through their work. I think that the horse person sees their messages and is able to internalize that and help heal from this past or from this current pain with the Tower card. With the Six of Swords in reverse, I feel like they are... hang on one second. I don't know. I feel like... Let me think about this for a second. Okay, let me come back to that because I'm having other things come in. So I feel like the horse person, since they are becoming more ambitious and more confident, I actually feel like it's through the energy of the spider person that they are getting some brand new ideas about new kinds of work things to start or new kinds of life path or objectives to go after. And I think that is where they need the most confidence and ambition, is starting off like some new kind of leaf or new venture. Again, I think it's somehow stimulated by the spider person, or they have this new idea and the spider person helps them grow confident in this new idea. There's something there that this horse person is just now beginning. And I think seeing the spider person reach this level of success is making the horse person feel like they can do it too. Maybe they have similar ideas or similar things that they want to work on, a similar audience that they're trying to sell to, or whatever this is that they're trying to do. I feel like they're seeing this person do it and they're like, I can do that. The Three of Cups as well is, I feel like, giving them a sense of community. So maybe this is both ways, but this sense of like friendship, celebration, community, understanding, things that this person hasn't had in the past very much, this horse person, I think that they're finding that in the spider person. So maybe if the spider person is kind of famous, maybe they have an online community, or maybe they have workshops or YouTube videos that they watch that makes them feel like they're not alone, that makes them feel like they're around people who understand them, and maybe they interact with the audience of the spider people and they find other connections that will be useful in their life, or at least emotionally uplifting, if not useful. The Six of Swords in reverse, the Six of Swords upright is all about transition, moving into like a new kind of chapter in your life, especially one on like personal development. In reverse, I feel like maybe this person has been hesitant to make certain changes and transitions that they need to in their life. And so I think, again, with this spider person, the spider person is ultimately helping the horse person transition. And I think that might be what some of this Tower and Temperance card is that something is falling away in this person's life, either in the past or in the present. I do think that they're having some kind of transition and falling away that the spider person is helping them heal from and accept. Like the Six of Swords, instead of running from it, which is what I feel like they're currently doing in a way, or resisting it, I should say, I think that the spider person is going to help them eventually accept this and turn this upright so that they are able to transition and they are able to start doing whatever that new thing is that they're meant to do, that new path that comes with that Page of Swords. So I feel like ultimately the horse person is being guided by the spider person to go out into this new venture, to heal from this past hurt in relationships, to trust and be confident in their own path that's coming up in their life. And that's how I feel like this relationship is benefiting them. I think the spider person, again, doesn't really have full awareness of the horse person, and maybe it's just energetically affected by them, but not as much on like a external level. So that is what I'm seeing for you, my beautiful pile fours. If this resonates, please let me know by liking and commenting down below. And if you're interested in a reading, I have astrology and tarot readings that you can check out in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.